Good morning, Rabbi Sai. לעילוי נשמת מרדכי. I wanted to wish all my fellow MD wires who started at my cotton a happy 1000th Daf anniversary. I was visiting Lakewood during the last year of Shas because I wasn't being Messiah. I decided not to go to MetLife for the big event. I immediately regretted not going and bringing my kids. I decided to join the next cycle. I made it through Brochus, Shabbos, and Erevin, but fell off during Pesachim. Sadly, I had not yet discovered Yeshir. Fast forward 18 months, and my wife sends me the ad for free Gemara. Rabbi said one free Gemara equals 1,000 daf in this person's life and more. The rest is history. I'm happy to say that while I have missed several days, I always write them down and catch up only after doing that day's daf. In the beginning, I would fall as many as a dozen days behind during Yom Tovim Chalamayid. But now, I usually don't fall more than 2 days behind should anything crazy happen like my wife giving birth. Fortunately, I've not yet been zoicha to meet you in person, but that doesn't mean I don't feel connected to the MDY family. I love hearing about all the simchas and I have grieved along with everybody else when members or their family are niftar. This, of course, does not include the regular untimely passing of the Baldwin brothers during Yavamis. He's not happy about that one. While the share is more than tripled since I joined, I don't feel the honor of being a member as diluted in any way. By the way, I think yesterday, the day before, we reached 22,000 subscribers on YouTube, which is ganz fine. Remembering those days in Chaniche, we tried to get to 1,000. It was a big thing. Finally, I have to admit, I was a little nervous, envious at first of all your traveling to often exotic locations. Yup, there have been a few of those because I got the hate mail. How dare you go on a ski trip when I can't afford it? And what am I going to tell my kids? You know, this whole thing. Yeah, I got those kind of emails. I'm not in a place right now where I have the time. He says, he was envious in the beginning. I'm not in a place right now where I have the time nor resources to go on safari or skiing in the Alps. However, I don't know if the island realized this is like very toned down. It used to be like once a month kind of thing. Now it's once a year. Okay, 6 times a year, whatever. However, I learned to live vicariously. I have learned to live vicariously through you, and I'm always amazed at how you bring the location into the daf and how you're moist and nefesh to give the shir no matter what the circus.
That's another chesed you do.
Yes.
You teach Gemara and the king live.
This is all chesed. At first, I gave him a Gemara. That's a chesed. And then I want to have him look. Remeir Shapiro's Beis Medrash. Reb Chaim Oizer, the Chofetz Chaim in Radin, the Vilna Goin, skiing, safari. There are less than 1,000 daf left until we finish Nida. This time I know I can do it. And I know I can't even make all the way back to my Katan. I'll have no more regrets about my Daf Yomi learning. May the next 1,000 days bring simcha, hatzlacha, parnas and gezun to you and your family and the entire MDY family. Adam Peters, Ottawa, Canada, my Katan Daf Beis. Oh, I never would have virtually visited so many amazing places and felt the energy and emotion that you feel when you're there. Okay, fine. Dear Belly, I love listening to you, especially your freshness and optimism and an amazing start to my day. I have an idea, a bit interesting. I don't expect you to do it since you're one of the most busy guys I know, but just figure it, I'll throw it out there. My wife is jealous of me that I have this huge chevra at MDY and she wishes someone could start something like MDY for women. They could grow together in Torah and other Gevaldik areas. I'm sure everybody agrees as much as the men are growing a lot and learning. My wife thinks it would be much easier if they would be all together in it. It'd be much easier to grow, just the thought, Mendel Burns. So we did start something, at least in concept, called WMDY. Many times. The women of MDY, those who know basketball know what I'm talking about. There's NBA and there's WNBA. They don't get paid the same amount, but they... Weapons of mass destruction. Depends. We'll have WMDY Torah and they could have WMDY weapons of mass destruction. Mendel Burns. He talks about sneeze and everything, but I don't want to get into that one. Just whatever. Torah and everything else. Hi, Rebelli. As you mentioned, share 103 on Sunday morning about getting distracted by your phone notifications the whole day. I'd like to share with you an interesting post that I found about phone distractions. Boys, I'm going to read this email. You're going to tell me if this guy is from Ottawa, Canada, from Montreal, from Baltimore, from Monroe, from Square, from Muncie, from Borough Park. I'm going to read it. Again, Nachamal. As you mentioned in Share 103 on Sunday morning about being distracted by your phone notifications the whole day, I'd like to share with you an interesting post that I have found about phone distractions. When you know you need to focus, you can't simply tell yourself to do so. It takes too much of your brain's finite willpower to constantly resist the distraction and temptations. Asking your brain to ignore the phone next to you is like putting donuts next to a dieter or cigarettes next to a smoker. It's pretty difficult to ignore, but I have my phone on silent, you might argue. The news still isn't good. Studies show that just having your smartphone near you, even face down on silent, drains your capacity to focus. Every time your mind wanders, whether you actually pick up the phone or not, you're not focused on the task at hand. Research suggests that it may take up to 23 minutes to refocus after checking your phone. Think about how many times you check your phone in an hour, much less a day. Try doing the math. Most of us instinctively go through our days with our phones as another appendage from which we can't separate, but with some conscious planning, we can increase our productivity and I would argue our happiness. Link the full post, and he puts it over here. I have you in mind during these days. You should be able to give out the daily shiur until 120, healthy and strong. Now, who wrote this? Modern Orthodox, Chassid, Litvak, Chayal in Lebanon, or somebody from RBS? Elia Berger, Monroe, New York. Satmar Chassid. Huh? During these days?
At the end, he said, like nobody's.
Yeah? Yeah, but the appendage and the... Oh, maybe AI wrote it, you're saying. zchusim. I know, but Daf 103, he threw in Daf 103. I said that twice, but Daf threw you off over there. In Shir 103, I didn't say Daf 103. Okay. What is it?
Kif Gimel.
Kif Gimel. The Kidnovations sponsored by Binyomin Rosenfeld, Vatzlochem Business, sponsor for the saving speedy return of all the assets. You see, you have to make the emails geschmack. You have to know how to do it, Eli. You have to ask questions before, and what do you think it is? The parents of Chodesh, לעילוי, זכריה ben Moshe, לעילוי, זכריה bas Yosef. Parents of Chodesh, Binyomin Rosenfeld. Who's zchusim that come from supporting limud HaTorah. Parents of Shavua, 0. Parents of Yoim, Natan Fischer, לעילוי nishmas, Mori, Michael, Dovid, Ben, Elchanan, הכהן. Parnas Hayoy Rabbi, the holy Mark Aschkenasy, l'schus Refuah Shelaima, a Mordechai ben Rachel, a good friend of MDY, a person I went to visit when I was in America. He's a great guy, undergoing emergency surgery today. Should have a Refuah Shelaima. Amen. That's the Amen Yisayma. We want to do that again?
No, that would be a real amazing.
Wow. That's not Terkidei Dibur. That would be for a zchus, art of the month, for a zchus for Rebelli and the whole MDY staff to continue to make Torah so enjoyable for so many. Here's the question of the day. You know your friend's house really, really well. You've been there for many Shabbosim. In fact, you actually rented it, Airbnb'd it a few times. You had neighbors. You had a chasana that he gave you the entire house. You know it inside out. And you make him an offer. He wants to sell. You make him an offer. And he tells you the house is 3,000 square feet. And when you go and you buy the house, after you buy it, you realize that he lied to you. It's not 3,000. It's really 2,500. What's the halacha? Being that you knew the house inside out, so you bought the house. You knew what it was. He told you a certain square footage. Maybe he wasn't being accurate. He meant something else. I don't know what. Huh? What does anybody say? It's a problem. He says it's a problem. Anybody else? You just don't know? You don't want to say? What do you say? He knew what he was buying. But the guy told him it's a certain square footage.
Is that like telling someone the house goes down in value over time so you get a cheaper price?
Oh, maybe. Okay. Wow, we have Talmid Chachamim, Lamdim over here. That's what the Gemara says at the end. Like he says that you knew what you were buying. Okay. Huh? Correct. But you lied. There's lying in Kakais? No? So let's see. So here's the Mishnah. Let's say A guy says to his friend, I want to sell you this field that you see over here in the picture. It's in between these houses. Those are the points. Here's the north, south, east, west. Okay? I'm selling you this field. But I tell you it's a core. This base core, but it's between these houses. You see what you're getting. You know what you're getting. You didn't measure it, but you know what you're getting. So it says the Mishnah, B'simanov u'b'mitzarav, I give you simanim, I tell you, here's the borderline, this house, this shul, this pizza shop, u'b'mitzarav, as is. You're not getting it, this is it, right over here, as is. Those are the words, as is in Hebrew also, as is. So, like Rabbi Schomburg just mentioned, there's a concept called ein oina b'karkais. There's no cheating, I could charge you, according to the Rashbam, I could charge you 1,000 times the price. According to other Rishonim, I could charge extra 50%. But it's definitely not a shtos, 16.6% is not, that doesn't apply to a karka. So we're not discussing that. We're discussing here is that the guy told him a kur. So he lied about the measurement. Kur means 75,000 square amma. And he told him, this is 75 square amma. But you know what it is. You walk by there. It's not a question what it is. From this house to this house to this house. So I lied about the square footage. Whose problem is that? Is there a mechila or no mechila? We're not talking about inah here. There's no inah by karka. We're asking what?
It's not nothing to do with the inah. It's got to do with the measurement.
Not with measurement. Whether or not there's if I'm moichel or not. How much am I moichel? It's not inah. There's no inah by karka. Correct. I'm saying there's no inah. It does come into this parasha. It could come in because I told you I'm selling you a kur and I sold you 25% less than a kur. Why is that not inah?
Not on the price, not on the amount.
No, it's on the amount also. Sure. If I tell you I'm selling you 12 eggs and I give you 10, that's inah. It's not on the price. So I told you I'm selling you a kur, I'm giving you 25% less. So no, it's on the price, on the amount, on everything. But there's no inah in karka. So here, there's a question, is the guy okay? When you buy an apartment, you know you're not going to get exactly 100 meters. It's always going to be slightly below. Okay. So until now we discussed two numbers. We discussed 2.2% of, boulders in the field. We also discussed 10%. The other before that, when it came to fruit. Yesterday we were discussing about 4.1, 4 point something, 4%. Today we're discussing 16.6%. Shtus. What's a shtus? So, here, if we go back to that chart of the base kur, a kur is made out of 30 saw, and every saw is made out of 6 kav. So a shtus, yesterday we're talking about a quarter of a kav. You take a kav and you split it into 4 parts. That's a roiva. Today we're talking about a full kav. A full kav. 4 times that amount. I could lie and whatever, just misspeak by a full kav. 4 times the amount we were talking about yesterday. 4 times 4%. 16.6%, which is a third is 33.3333. So half of that is 16.6 is a sixth. A sixth. A shtus, a sixth. How much is 6? If you want to talk, I think people understand 16.6%. So it looks something like this. Instead, 1 kav more or 1 kav less. And now here's the thing that we're talking about. We're not really discussing in the Mishnah the center case, which is a shtus. Shtus is exactly 16.6. The Mishnah says that he gave him a little bit more, a little bit less than a shtus. Pachais mishtus higiyoi. If it's less than 16.6%, let's call it, for argument's sake, 16%. It's a little less than 16.6. Higiyoi. It's a good sale. This is a mechila. At shtus, over here, at shtus means above 16.6%, all the way down to 16.6%. Ad means above. In this case, ad would mean above. Okay? Why? Okay, the Lashon is a little interesting. In other words, anything above 16.6%, so for argument's sake, we'll call it 17%. It's above 16.6. Now you have to make an adjustment. Yinaka. If you're the one that paid a little bit more for something less, then you get more karka, or the owner will get his money. He'll have to either return money or karka. Okay. Says the Gemara, but we never discussed the middle case. We discussed 16% and 17%. We never discussed 16.6%. What if it's on the dot? He overcharged, he lied about the karka, 16.6% on the dot. One kav, he gave him one kav, exactly one kav less than a full core. I don't know if he lied. He misspoke. He said a core.
So that was the size.
He thought, okay, they both thought. And then he went and he measured, like the guy in the Hebrew Shir, went and he measured, and it was 250 meters less. That's a little bit more than Noyana Bekarka. But the guy lied over there. The guy wrote in the contract, I'm selling you 250 meters more. Over here, he told him, I'm selling you this thing. That's the difference. In the guy in the Hebrew Shir, he didn't see anything. There's no simanim. There's no nothing. He said, I'm selling you a commercial area that has X amount of meters. And at the end, he gave him less. So he's a ganav. That's a ganav. Over here, he's pointing. He says, look, here it is. From this house to this house to that, here's the borders. It's a kur. Okay, it was off. It was not a kur. Time of the Gemara, how are you going to measure exactly a kur? 75,000. You didn't have lasers. The strings, it's a little crooked. A little, so you're off by a kav. No. No, it's a pretty nice amount, 16.6%. Okay. Itmar. So what do we do with exactly 16.6%? Machlokes. Right, Hillel? Machlokes. Rav Huna Amar Shtus Kepachos Mishtus. If it's exactly 16.6%, we'll treat it like 16%. And therefore what? Mechila, kapara, slicha, here we go. Rav Huna says that these two cases, less than a shtus, 16%, and 16.6% are in the same box. It's good. It's a good sale. You don't have to make any adjustments. Rav Yehuda Amar Shtus Kiyosim Shtus. You go like this. He says that 16.6%, we're talking about the center case, is going to be like 17%. You have to give back money. This is what he means to say. This is like the Shaila, the famous question, Ad va'ad bichlal, is the exact number, is it included, is it not included? So Rav Huna says, less and 16, they're the same. 16%. Ushtos, 16.6%. Bichlal, higiyoi, it's included. Higiyoi, it's a good sale. Yoisim ushtos, there's one exception. If it's more, 16.7%, 17%, 18%, yinaka. Now you have to make an adjustment. Rabbi Yehuda shtos, yoisim ushtos. Rabbi Yehuda says no. Like this on the chart, that 16.6% has the halacha like 17%, and therefore. This is what we meant. This is a lot of shilas. What the language is and what the girsa was. The Rishbam reads like this, like that. But the idea is the same. Shtos kiyosim shtos. If it's 16%, not 16.6, less than 16.6%, it's a good sale. At shtos. What does at shtos mean again? More than a shtos, more than 16.6%, ushtos bichlal, in other words, 17, or all the way to 16.6, yinaka bichlal, and therefore yinaka. Meisvei. It says in Tosefta, if somebody sells a piece of land, b'simonov u'b'mitzarav, he described it with the famous, the shul, the street, everything was perfect. Pichei shtos. If he gave him 16.6%, that's the question that we asked here. We have a machlokes on 16.6%, exactly a shtus, exactly one kav. Oyhoiser shtus, if he was exact on the up or the down, he gave him less or gave him more, 16.6%. Hareyu kishum hadayonim higiyoy. It would seem like, here, I just did a synopsis of what we just read. Picheshtos, if you gave him less than 16.6%, 16.6% less, what's the halacha? Like Shuma Dayanim. Higiyai. It could be a contradiction. Shuma Dayanim would mean that the sale is canceled. And in fact, that's what we're going to say. Higiyai means it's a good sale. So which one is it? Is it red or green? It's like a contradiction. So the Gemara wants to say, what's Shuma Dayanim? Shuma Dayanim means Yisaimim, the orphans inherited some property, and now there's an emergency situation. We need to feed the widow, the almana. We need to feed the Yisaimim. So we go and we sell the property to feed them. But how do you sell the property? You need to bring 3 dayanim in, and they're going to evaluate the property. And they messed up on the evaluation. They messed up. They said it was valued 16.6 less than the market value. They went on Zillow, right? That's that Zillow never works. That thing, it's never accurate, right? In middle of Los Angeles, the house is worth $250,000. Why? Because we have comps, but that's what's the not such a good neighborhood over there, the South. They're doing the comps from Shkoyach. Okay, never got an accurate thing on that thing, but okay, huh? Dayanim don't go to Zillow, Chas V'Shalom. They don't have the smartphones. So they did their own evaluation and they were off. So what's the halacha? V'shuma dayanim d'shtus ki yosim shtusu. That's like Rabbi Yehuda. Shtus is like more than a shtus. Yeah, let's go back to Rabbi Yehuda just to remind the Olam. Where are we? Over here. Rav Huna says shtus is like less than a shtus. Rabbi Yehuda says shtus, the middle case, is like more than a shtus. That's what we just read. Shuma dayanim, the shtus, if it's exactly 16.6%, has a halacha of more than a shtus. And what does it say in the beginning of the case? Mamish our Mishnah. B'simana of a mitzara of a person sold a kur with simanim and with borders, and he gave the guy that he sold it to less 1 shtus, exactly 16.6%. The halacha is shuma dayanim. It's batal u'mevutal. Like Rabbi Yehuda, that 16.6% is halacha of 70% and it's batal. So we have a kasha on Rav Huna. Rav Huna says that the halacha is that it should stay, it's a good sale. And Rav Yehuda says it's not a good sale. And here you see like Rabbi Yehuda. Amlach Rav Huna, wait a minute, you have a great raya. Just read one more word. It says, higiyai. It's a good sale, not it's a bad sale. Kishuma dayanim higiyai. It's a good sale. Oh, you see, like me, if I cared, you bring me a right to me that if I sell something for 16.6%, higiyah, it's a good sale. Don't cancel the sale. Oh, Ella. So what was Rav Yehuda thinking? Ella. So according to one pshat in the Rishbam, is the pshat he likes. Kishuma dayanim v'lo kishuma dayanim. What the Bryce is trying to say, what the Sefer is trying to say, is that it's similar to shuma dayanim, but not exactly. So Rav Yehuda could answer, it could fit like Rav Huna, but Rav Yehuda could also answer that what? That if you're exactly 16.6%, it's like me, Rabbi Yehuda, that the sale is over. Higiyai means it's a good sale, but you have to give back the money. When they make a mistake, when the dayan makes 3 dayanim make a mistake, the whole sale is canceled. Let's start over, fresh. Hold on, let me finish the sentence. And by us, we're going to use part of that 16.6% is no good. You have to make an adjustment, but don't cancel the sale. Make an adjustment, figure out what happened. You made a mistake. What did you do? You went to 17%? Give it back. Give back the whole 17%. So it's like Shuma Dayanim, so now we can read it well. Picheshtos, if you gave back, according to Rebbe, you sold something, but you gave the guy 16.6% on the dot, exactly shtos, less than what he deserved. Now you have to make an adjustment like Shuma Dayanim. Shuma Dayanim you'd cancel completely. Over here, we're going to cancel the extra. Higiyah, it's a good sale, but you have to give back. Otherwise, if you just say Higiyah, you don't have to give back anything. It's a good sale, you don't have to give anything. Because Shuma Dayanim tells me you have to give back something. Yes, what were you asking?
If the Beis makes a mistake, what about Makov based in Yafet? Okay,
that's something else. That's in a psak. Over here, they were giving an evaluation. They didn't evaluate the real estate well. There's a shita like you. There is a shita. That's the Rav Shimon Gamliel, I think. And that's what part of this sugya includes that, what you're saying. All right. Now, why is that? Why is Bezdin different than a human being? So, Kobe highlighted this for me. Shkoyach Kobe. If you want, you can go down 4 lines in the widest lines in the Rashbam. V'hasamay the taima, and the reason would be the kiv and the toe Bezdin. Once there's a mistake in Bezdin, chayzer mim kol masha asu. Then they have to take back. Once you make a mistake, the mistake is on everything. Take back the whole thing and restart the evaluation. But in our case, when there's a sale, the tavayu chafetzim b'mecher, everybody wants a sale. Zelimkar v'zelikach. You have 2 willing parties. Hamekach kayim. Then the sale is good. V'hayna yachzer, and give back. He calls it Reina over here. You have to give back. You give back the extra 16.6%. Or Says the Gemara story. Now we're going to very, very interesting sugyas. Rav Papa Zovan Aram Gavra. Rav Papa bought a property from a certain individual. Omar Le Havio Esrin Grive Mishcha. The seller told him it's a 20-year. Yeah. It's a 20-year. It's 20, I don't know what. 20. Veloy have elocha meisra. Oy vavoy. It was only 15. 25% less than what they got. Much worse than a shtos. Shtos is 16.6%. This was 25% off of what he told Rav Papa. He told Rav Papa, here's a field, it's a 20. It's a 20 by 20. And it turns out it's 15 by 50. It's 15. The Gemara in Hayri says that Rav Papa came to Rava to learn Torah, and Rav Papa says, I don't want to teach you Torah until I know that you're established financially. So he told, because I want you to be able to learn. Rava told Rav Papa, I'm not going to teach you until you. Yeah, Rav Papa later on became very wealthy. So Rav Papa told him, he used to sell beer. Rav Papa said, I'm financially stable. Obviously, it was when he was younger. I have a small piece of land, and I have pronounced from it. I don't know if this is the land, but he said, I have a small piece of land. So, also Kamida Baya. Omar Le, I'm happy that you said this in the beginning of Shir, because over here, when I saw it, I was like, what is going on here? It doesn't sound right. The guy told you he's selling you a 20-year, he gives you a 15-er, and he's okay. It's good. Rav Papa got messed up over here with 5. Also Kamida Baya Omar Le, Savers Vikibal. So what Abai is telling him is, listen, don't pretend that you know what you're getting yourself into. You see this field every day. You walk to shul, you walk to the bismarck, you walk by this field. You know exactly. So the guy told you it's a 20-year. So what if he told you what it is? You know, it's not like you bought it on the phone and you're relying on what he said. You know the field. Here it is. You like it, you don't like it. What's his name? Nachamal. Lauren said, you know the property, you know the house, you know the apartment, you care the meters. I know what it is. This is what I'm getting. Let me just read these real quickly. The Torah Daf by the Belsky family in memory of Simcha Berel, Dovid, Shalom Ben Avraham, Moshe, and Kidnovations in honor of my uncle Rebbitzen Pressman. Official should be zchus. By the way, all I'm going to say is, I was on the phone. I called official for something yesterday to discuss a certain idea that I had. Turns out that he has a better idea, but he's going to roll out something that you've never, something incredible. Meshuga, it's going to blow everybody away. Mamish Meshuga. So, it should be zchus Akiva Simcha Ben Fayga, a shidduch. I'm not going to see what it is because he told me not to say, but I'm going to get you, I'm telling you that when you hear what it is, you're literally going to fall off your chair. Shidduch for Rivka Yudas Bas Yafachaya, and thank you to Rebbitzen Stefansky for selflessly giving up her husband for the cloud. Should be zchus for you filled mazel bracha atzlocha parnasa berevach and refuah. Zok the Gemara. So Rav Papa is not happy. Rav Papa tells Zabaya, what do you mean? Anything above 16.6%, the guy has to give me a refund. Over here, it's a lot more than 16.6%. It's actually 25%. Sabai tells him, that's when you're not familiar. When you're familiar with this field, that's it. That's your problem. But he says,
just because you know the field doesn't mean you know how big it really is.
oh, so that's what Rav Papa told him. But he told me a number. He said he's selling me a 20-year and it wasn't 20. Maybe what he meant to say is, like everybody says, oh, my real estate, you understand my building, my block is the best of the best. It's worth like a 20-year. You know what it is. Here it is. It's right in front of you. You take your own measuring tape, but you know the property. I'm telling you, it's a 20-year. Okay. So
when you come to an apartment and you look at the apartment, it's really, and you're happy with it, the meterage is just to make you feel better. Because you were happy with the amount. You saw the space. Now the guy's telling you meterage. Now you want to be able to say, you know how much I got? I got 300 meters. It's not about that. You're happy with the place.
No, but time out. I can argue that I thought I'm buying 100 meters and I can't get a mortgage for 90 meter. I won't be able to pay. I'm basing it on getting a mortgage, and they'll only give me a mortgage on 100 meters. If it's 90 meters, they won't give me the mortgage I want to get.
Case, then you're right.
It's always the case. It's always about a mortgage. It's always about my resale. How am I going to resell it now? Tomorrow I want to sell my house. Now I have to tell everybody it's 90 meters. So I'm not going to lie. So now I'm going to sell a 90 meter apartment. I mean, I already say that's what Lauren said, and it seems like look, there's even a base next to the Dif that there's such a taina. When I said it's a 20-year, I meant it's worth a 20-year. You know what it is. I said it's a 100-meter dira. It's really 90, but the view. Okay. Location. Zog the Gemara. Tanya Rabbi Yossi Omer Achim Shecholku. Kivin Shala Goyer Le'echomem Konu Kulam. Listen to this. The brothers. So let's take it slow. Easy. Two brothers. They do a lottery. One brother in the lottery, he gets the apartment. So as soon as he gets the apartment, it becomes his. That's like a kinyan. The other brother, automatically, whatever's left over, it's his. 100% it's his. Now, the brother that got the apartment can't go to the brother that didn't get the apartment, start taking stuff and then argue, let's redo it. No. Once he got it, that's understood. What about there's three brothers? One brother, he hit the jackpot, whatever it is. He got the tefillin. Once he gets the tefillin, then the other brothers get everything else. And once again, the brother that got the tefillin cannot have any objections to what the other two brothers got. And it's theirs. Together, now they have to divide that. But they own that. That's theirs. They can't come to the tefillin guy. The tefillin can't come to them. It's locked in. That's what the Gemara says. Halacha. Once one of the brothers gets his lottery, there's a famous ma'isa with the Reginer when he was nifter. He supposedly had the tefillin, some very miyuchas, maybe all the way to the Baal Shem Tov. So the brothers, every son wanted those tefillin. That was the big hack. What are we going to do about the tefillin? The tefillin. So they decided that each brother is going to write down what he's willing to give up from the Yerusha, and the one that gives up the most, he'll get the tefillin. And then they said, you know what, that's not fair. They all wrote down. They said, let's do something else. Let's divide everything besides the tefillin. We'll divide everything. For the tefillin, we'll make a lottery. That's what they did. So they divided everything perfectly. And then the tefillin, they did a lottery. And the youngest son, he got the tefillin. And then they said, okay, but now that he got the tefillin, let's see what each person was willing to give up. So this one was giving up that, and this one gave up that. And the youngest son, he said, I'm giving up everything. I want the tefillin. So like all these mices, I could talk here for 45 minutes straight about, especially my story in Pesach, Shekim HaTorah, where Yitz doesn't know the story, so I got to tell him, you'll be moichel me, yeah? It's still, once in a while, I have to say the Maisa. There's a big lottery back in the day. You know, those days, it's not like today, 2.2 billion. When I was in Chicago, I think I have the ticket even. Maybe not. No, not that ticket. I don't know. Okay. There was a big lottery. So each guy in our room bought a ticket, and we made a deal that if we win, whoever wins. But you have to give each guy in the room $1 million. Why not? That's okay. So the drawing was like on Shabbos. So we didn't know what's going on. Matzi Shabbos, a minute after the Zman, while everybody was diving Ma'ariv, I ran to the grocery store and bought another ticket with the number that won. Like it was already drawing, it was there. So I took the number, I just wrote down on the next week's thing the number, paid for it, went back to the dorm, put it in my drawer, and went to Ma'ariv, the end of Ma'ariv. I got a Leinu. And then the guy's like 12 in the morning. Oh, what happened with the lottery? Let's see the numbers. So the guy takes the numbers, and everybody takes out, oh, let me get my thing. I go to my drawer, I take it out. And the guy reads, 3, 17. No way, Stefansky has 2 in the front. This come out. 42. No way! All numbers. $1 million. Kitzer. Rikudim in the yeshiva. It was Givaldic, phone calls. No, you're not going to believe it. Stefansky won the lottery. Kitzer. Then nobody spoke to me for 6 months. But it was worth it. No, there's a story about Rabbi Yashiv said over from Chaim Moiser, and this is a big aside about these things, that he said that Rabbi Chaim Moiser used to say that there was a tzaddik that bought a lottery ticket and a ganav that bought a lottery ticket. And the ganav said, wait a minute, I have the wrong ticket, let me switch it with the tzaddik. And he switched it with the tzaddik, and the tzaddik won with the ganav's lottery ticket. So the ganav was screaming, hey, it was really mine, I could prove it. So he said, it's not the ticket that wins, it's the person that wins. But then one last thing, a very, very important thing, we said it a long, long time ago, but I thought it's Givaldic. A Maisa Shahaya, Kemataya, whatever, one of these Maisas, that there was a school that made a big, Chinese auction, whatever it was, a lottery. Everybody put in their tickets and they were raffling off back in the, minivan. Sienna minivan. Today it's Tesla, Sienna. Kitzer, they called this guy in the middle of the night. They said, listen, you're not going to believe it. You won the school raffle, you won the Sienna. Okay? Then the guy leaves and he realizes he forgot to put one ticket into the drawing. Calls up the Rav, and the Rav says, you got to redo the whole thing. You got to redo the whole thing. So he calls up the guy with the Sienna. He says, listen, I'm sorry, you messed up. I'm sorry to let you down, but you're probably not going to get the Sienna because we have to redo the whole thing. Halachically, it wasn't a real thing. So the guy says, okay, let's think about it. Whose ticket is it? He says, Gershon Friedman. Gershon Friedman. Let me speak to him. What's your concern? That maybe Gershon could have won the Sienna. So I'll call up Gershon. I'll give him half the Sienna. We'll split the Sienna half and half. What's the worst case scenario? He could get it. Okay. So they paskin, no. Since it's not a good raffle, so everybody has a chance of getting it. In Mela, they couldn't do the deal. If the mice is true or not, I know, but the halacha is cool. It's a cool halacha. Don't forget those tickets in your pocket. Weiter gegangen. Tanya Rabbi Yossi Omer. Ha'achim shecholku kim shol l'gor lechem mehem. Kanu kula. My timer. What does my timer mean over here? With what kinyan were the other brothers kaina? Okay, I got the lottery. It says I get the tefillin. But what about them? How are they kaina the apartment? Because I got tefillin. Omer Elazar kitchilas Eretz Yisrael. We learned this special halacha from Yeshua ben Nun. Matchila begoyrel af kan begoyrel. Klal Yisrael got their properties through a goyrel. So too, the goyrel works for everybody. The way it worked by Yeshua, there was 2 boxes. It had all the names of the Shvatim and all the different properties in Eretz Yisrael. So let's say, I don't know, Gush Katif and then God. And then they put them together. Rashi and Chumash says over there that the girl would scream out, "This shevet is on my gvul." It was it was from HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Urim v'tumim is something like this. I'm just like, this is l'saber soinaim. This is the choshen. So in the choshen they would insert Shem Hashem, and then the actual stones would light up, and they would tell them different things. So says the Gemara, you want to be like Yeshua, but you have to be exactly like Yeshua. You need 2 boxes, you need Urim v'tumim. You can't just do a goyrel, like a little ladder with 2 pieces of paper. We learn from Yeshua this idea that a girl works. But how's that? It works because over here the added thing is that each brother is very happy that the other brother's is what's the word? Is participating, is playing along or whatever. They're listening to each other. So with that I know, Gamri u'makna ladodi, they give it over full hakna kinyan to the other guy. Itmar. Shnei achim shecholku ubo lehem ach memedinas hayam. Shmak. They say in English, when there's a will, there's a way, right? There's also another saying, when there's a will, there's a relative. All of a sudden, Shalom Aleichem. There's a Yerusha. I happen to be your brother. Where were you for the last 30 years? I don't know. I'm your brother. Fine. So you have two brothers. They divided. The gets Yerusha. This one gets the factory, and this one gets the $20 million. And this one. All of a sudden, there's another brother. Doesn't make sense. Another brother. So what do? We already divided everything. We're already comfortable. I'm already living in the condo for 3 years. I relocated to Florida. He's in Phoenix. Everything's gewaldig. Who are you? What? We have to redo the whole thing? Rav Omar Botla Machloikis, you have to redo everything. Ushmul Omar Mikamtzen. Mikamtzen means, look, we're comfortable where we are. We're also comfortable giving you a third. So I'll give you a little part of mine, and my brother will give you a little part of his. You'll get a third, I get a third, but we're not moving from where we are. We have these fields, we have the tractors there, everything's good. We'll give you a little bit of each. According to Rav, that says that you redo everything, al mahadar dina. That means, it seems like, you did it's like he was saying before, we did it. It was already done. It was a done deal. Now we have to redo everything. Now listen to this. We learned this in Bava Basra, and I don't know if Doyle remembers this. If you have a partner, because I'm going through this again. If somebody sent me an email, I forgot what it is. If somebody has a partner and there's no documentation, could I split up with him whenever I want without even telling him? Can I go to a bezdin and split up with him? Yes or no? I have no documentation. No, we're partners. Everybody knows we're partners. I just don't have a good operating agreement. Now I'm saying that I have this with one of my partners. I want to do stuff. I want to sell and I want to refinance. He doesn't want to do anything. He wants to stay as is. And I don't have a good operating agreement. I need a good lawyer. You know a good lawyer that does operating agreements? Seriously. I need a good litigator, some guy. I need to do something over here. It's too many years like this. Anyway, so the halacha is I have to show this guy. The problem is he's not religious. The halacha is I could break up whenever I want. I go to Bezdin. I don't ask him any questions. I tell Bezdin what we have, and Bezdin says, okay, he gets 50, he gets this 50, Shalai Yisrael. He doesn't even have to be there. So ask the Gemara if that's the case. There's 3 partners, the worst. Don't ever become partners with 2 other people. Hashem Yirachem. It's bad enough one. Again, you see the Yisai, Rabbi Yisai learned from me, he learned from the Gemara. Put everything in writing. Everything. We don't have a buy clause. We don't have so we're stuck, 50-50, stuck. Anyway, not just Meiser to MDY, much more to MDY. There wouldn't be don't worry about it. I won't even talk about money for the next 5 years. I'll support everything. Just get me a good lawyer. Bli neder. You're right. Bli neder. So now, 2 out of the 3 partners go to Bezdin. We said one partner could go. The Rashbam brings the Gemara B'Mitzid Daf Amud Aleph. One partner go to Bezdin and make a division without telling the other partner. So 2 partners could definitely go to Bezdin and say, give us, split it up 3 ways, and Bezdin will split it up 3 ways. What? If the third guy shows up, why is this third guy different than a brother who shows up from South Africa? Oh, I'm a brother, I want to redivide the Yerusha. Over here also, a third partner comes and says, I want to redivide everything. So what's the difference, Rabbi Yisai? This is what Gemara is all about. How can you make a distinction in your mind between brothers and partners? So Gemara very, very simple. When it comes to partners, they went to Bezdin, told Bezdin there's 3. And based on the 3, Bezdin divided it up. So there's nothing to take back now. Bezdin did the job for you. But over here, they didn't know there's a third brother. When they divided up the property, they thought there's only two, so they divided up based on two. It's a whole different division. We're just going to finish this little piece. So, according to Rav Papa, according to Shmuel, that says that when the third brother comes, you give that third brother, he gives a piece and he gives a piece, so each one has a third. Lemeimer the kamdina. So it seems like that the din stands and you don't redo anything. For Rav Shmuel Damer Tavayu Kur B'Shleishim we had this sugi yesterday to remind Oilam here. I tell you, I'm selling you a kur. A kur is a measurement, and we said until it gets to the core. Each one can take it back. You have to wait until it gets to the core. Why? Oy vey, I mamish forgot to show this. Oy vay. So for mamish my aschatosai and this mamish but the guy is hopefully the editor. Who's editing today? You? Okay, you have to do this all the way in the beginning by the Mishnah. I'm sorry. It's fixed esrogim on the box. This is this. I'm just showing this to understand this. Here we go. Without this, you can't understand the sugya. So he's measuring. He doesn't like the measurement. He comes, shows him that if it's a shtos, you have to return. He says, "Oh, I have an idea." Okay, and he gives him. He pays him back. He can pay back with whatever he wants. He gives him back a srogim. I hope it's not a srogim after Sukkot. Okay, that's one. Now, here's another one. Rabbi said just. So if I tell you I want to buy a certain amount, so he says I want to buy 30 Ben & Jerry's. So he gives him. He starts counting here. When he gets to 29, he didn't get to 30. So now, because he didn't get to 30, he could have charata. He says, no, I don't want this anymore. Shem Yisrael, boom. Okay. That's his thing. So, Zog the Gemara. So what do you see from here? This is the questions from this case. So says the Rashbam, if I could take it back all the way to the 30th, Ben & Jerry to the 30th, Ksa out of the Kur. So certainly when it comes to brothers who divided something illegally, because there's a third brother, who told him to divide it? So certainly you should take back the whole entire thing. And then we just finish off the brayz. But if I say it's one sela per saw, then I could, as you do a saw, says Gemara, I have another Avi Kamyansky today. So Gemara says a simple answer. When it comes to the core, the two people, they made up between themselves. They want to be able to take back until they get to the core. There's a certain thing I want to get to here. But when it comes to brothers, they're very comfortable with they want to do a chalukah, and the Rashbam sticks in this lashon that too many chefs ruin here we go. Too many chefs ruin the soup. Here you have one chef putting in the fire, one chef putting in the ice cubes, and you have Yossi, who just became CEO, no more. Okay, so Rabbi said, I just thought it's interesting. Rabbi said, have a wonderful, wonderful day.